welcome everyone to Banter episode 18. Unfortunately, Anton's not here, so
the kids will play tonight once again.
We apologize for not having boots and scarves up, and we had something else lined up which would have been fun to do, but we were all bogged down with games, work.
Yeah, but you know what? The stuff will still come.
Yeah, we're going to get back on track next month, so bear with us. Look at this vacation for not hearing me rant for so often.
We've been at Fury Games. Where were you?
Oh, great. Way to go. We'll talk about tonight's Fury game later on, so hold on to your
Versus
seats.
Vermont Voltage.
Yeah, that was fun. But we'll get on to the other stuff first. So, first up on the list, we're looking at NASL. They're coming near to an end of their first half of the season. So, right now is today, June, 26th. June 26th. Railhawks they're at 10 games, 19 points. Atlanta, 10 games, 17 points. Tampa, 11 games, 15 points. Minnesota, 10, 14 points. San Antonio, 10, 14 points. Edmonton, 11 points. Fort Lauderdale Strikers, 10, 8 points.
Yeah, 12-game season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
2 games left for everyone except Edmonton.
The fights between Atlanta and Carolina.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay no one can catch up.
Okay.
It's those two. So that's going to be interesting, considering how Carolina's doing in the Open Cup as well as this first part of the season. That's going to be a huge bonus to them because if they can take it, they get home field advantage for the Soccer Bowl.
Yeah.
They haven't dropped that yet. So with that season coming to an end, we got the new season coming up, which New York Cosmos joining.
Yeah.
Again,
Cosmos 2.0.
Yeah. Again, we were kind of going, you shouldn't be allowed to enter the second part.
Yeah, you either participate for the full season or not at all.
Yeah, exactly. Puerto Rico Islanders are still a don't know because apparently the last government was all for helping with the finances.
Yeah.
Now this one is not.
Well, you know what? If Puerto Rico goes out, Puerto Rico is part of that 25% that's outside of U.S. teams for the U.S. Soccer Federation.
Yeah.
So if they go out, that opens a spot for a new Canadian team.
Yeah, exactly.
Calgary's been talking again.
But they're a bit underwater right now.
Yeah.
So
Hamilton's been going at it as well.
Hamilton I could see doing.
Yeah.
They got the population.
Some words about Quebec City as well.
Quebec City could be fun, but Hamilton, I would say, is your better bet than Quebec City, really.
They got the stadium.
Population to draw from.
They got
the
TFC.
GO trains, the GO buses. They can draw from the London, St. Catharines. So.
Yeah, they've got a rival in TFC and even us.
Yeah, exactly. So it should be good. They should go for Hamilton personally.
Tampa Bay Rowdies won the league last year and probably not going to finish. Probably not even going to have a chance after the first season.
They're going to have to get it through the second one, and with a nice sponsorship for Cosmos from
Fly Emirates.
Yeah, that's going to be big because Tampa doesn't have a sponsor. They don't have that extra cash flow. It's not much, but it's still extra.
But it adds a bit of, in my opinion, it adds some class to the jersey.
Yeah, and it's some real.
But now that Fly Emirates is in, I imagine someone in Tampa will.
Someone's going to
anyone.
Yeah,
like Houston Dynamo had a garbage company at one point.
Yeah, I think they still do.
Do they? Green Star?
Yeah.
I mean, the jokes write themselves, but you know what? As long as you're getting the cash.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah. My Bristol Rovers jersey. On the front, it's a linens company. But on the back, above where the name and number would be, it's a cider company. Get drunk, puke up on your clothes. Look, there's a linen company to help you out.
Yeah.
So they'll find something. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. Rumor mill, though, Oklahoma is being pegged for 2015.
Yeah, I read about that. Apparently NASL is trying to go out west.
I don't blame them. Like, they're concentrated in the East right now, and that's where they have a strong support.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they're right. They could get something out West, but I don't know if... What's the term for the middle of the states? Heartland?
Yeah.
That dead middle...
Our version of the prairies?
Yeah. The dead center of the states is not soccer savvy.
Yeah.
Like, Detroit's up and coming. I'd love to see Detroit get the NASL spot.
Yeah. Because
that's going on with Detroit City FC, they call themselves Le Rouge.
Okay.
I don't know. You know what? They got a strong fan base. They got cheap prices of tickets, so people go.
Well, if the Red Wings are anything to go off of, they can go with Le Rouge.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably it.
Yeah, Motor City, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're doing fine, so they're good.
Yeah. But NASL, all they want right now is a committed owner and a stadium.
Yeah, they want stability.
And yeah, they want stability, and that's all they have. That's all they can do right now. They're not exactly a stable league.
Yeah, exactly. They need teams coming in, not dropping out 2 years later. They want you to come in and work. They don't want you to say, "Well, I'm not making a lot of money. It's year 5."
No, and that's required. You have to show them that you're stable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have a base of money.
If you're constantly in the black, that's what they want. They don't care how big into the black. If you're only $1 into the black, they don't care. They're happy.
Yeah. So from that standpoint, at least we have OSEG there.
Yeah, they're OSEG. Well, let's face it,
Ottawa.
Rich people buy teams to put their profits from other companies in so they pay less taxes. Sports teams is the way to do it.
Yeah. And OSEG, they were trying to get Lansdowne built, so they threw in an NASL team. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, it's better than getting an MLS squad, but going all the way out to Canada. Yeah, that's a great fan march situation. Let's face it, they wouldn't allow tailgating there either.
To be honest, I would have had trouble getting out to Canada.
Yeah, well, they probably have the OC transfer buses.
True.
But they wouldn't have that supportive culture mentality.
No, I think MLS
show up there an hour, 2 hours in advance and just party in the park.
Well, this was about 2007, 2008, up to 2009. I think at the time we would have been
08, 09.
Yeah, I think at the time we would have been okay for MLS, but now it's too big for us.
Yeah, it's too strong, too big, too expensive.
Yeah, but NASL is perfect.
Yeah. So, on to MLS. So, we got standings in the West. RSL 30-17, Portland 30-17, Dallas 29-16, LA 24-16, Vancouver 22-15. The funny thing is, though, I was looking at why RSL's ahead of Portland.
Yeah.
Portland has the better goal difference.
Okay. So RSL has more goals or something?
No, I think how it works is that RSL, because they have more wins.
Okay, fair enough.
I was speaking to Anton about it, and in North America, it's all about wins before.
That's fair. You know what? To me, that's fair.
Yeah. There's just me going, but I like the goal difference. It's more fun that way.
Yeah. But I mean, it does put more emphasis on winning.
Yeah, it does. Then we got the East, Montreal, 29-14 point.
Yeah, they have a couple games in.
No, sorry, it's 29 points, 14 played. My bad. Philly, 25-16. New York, 25-17. Kansas City, Sporting Kansas City, 23-16. Houston, 23-16.
Yeah. Montreal is just running away. They have games in hand and a 4-point lead, so good for them. They're just rocking that.
I just hope they know, just because I hope the Whitecaps know that if Montreal was to win the Supporters' Shield, you get to go to CONCACAF.
No. If Montreal won the Supporters' Shield, they don't get to go to CONCACAF. It would be the second place MLS team.
Yeah, it's
same. If an MLS team won the MLS Cup, you don't get the spot.
Yeah, it has to be an American-based team.
Yeah,
which I don't think is fair. Really.
I think it's not fair, but I can see.
You have all these competitions to get into this tournament, and you're including other nationalities. You know what? You invited them into your league. You invite them into your competition. You can compete, but you don't get any prizes. Well, what's the point?
Okay.
It's
well, you get the MLS Cup, right? You just don't get, because the U.S. I can sort of see it. I see what you're saying, but I can see the U.S. Soccer Federation's perspective as well.
Yeah, they're not
gonna let a Canadian team represent them.
I would love CONCACAF to actually say no. You invite them in, you allow them. It's simple.
So, well, in England, if a Welsh club somehow
they have to be registered with the English FA.
Oh.
But they get that spot regardless.
Okay.
Like they compete in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
If they win, they get to go. Swansea in the League Cup, they get to represent England, Wales in Europe.
Okay.
Bradford doesn't get to go.
Okay.
If you're registered in the league, that's it.
I guess it's down to the federation.
Yeah, it's down to the federation.
Yeah. And there's no way the U.S. is going to give us
please.
Not after June 2nd.
Yeah, I just want to see CONCACAF just actually smarten up and say, no. It would be fun. Yeah. So let's...
Well, who has more power, the U.S. Soccer Federation or CONCACAF?
Yeah, CONCACAF is U.S. Soccer Federation.
Pretty much. That's why the Gold Cup is there all the time.
Yeah. Oh, they claim it's safety and stability.
Oh
bullshit.
Because Mexico is...
Yeah. Like, Yeah.
Well,
Jamaica
safety and stability. Why
Barbados.
not give one to us if it's all about safety?
Jamaica and Barbados and Guyana are safe zones for World Cup cricket tournaments between Pakistan and India. Oh yeah, you want a rivalry?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one for you right there. Or India and Sri Lanka. That's not a nice rivalry. Like,
No.
but they hosted it. They did well. They had good security on it.
Yeah.
They just knew how to place everything. It all comes down to basic logistics.
Yeah.
Let's face it, Canada, you might have to go east-west, but it's all in one line.
True.
The States, it's east-west, north-south. You're going all over the map.
Yeah.
So it's something the U.S. has to learn.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so let's look at the Canadian squads. Montreal, again.
We're not even going to bother with TFC, are we?
Well, Montreal's at 9-3-2, Vancouver's at 6-5-4, TFC is at 2-7-6, 2 wins. But here's the funny thing. I have the last 3 in the league.
Oh, TFC looks much better.
TFC, 12 points, 15 games. Then Chivas with 11 points, 15 games. Then DC with 9 points, 16 games.
Yeah.
There's a bit of an issue there. Montreal's next game is against Colorado this Saturday. TFC against RSL.
RSL's going to win that.
Yeah, and DC against Vancouver, all on the same day. But July 3rd, in Toronto, TFC versus Montreal.
Nice.
TFC better show up and just...
Oh, well, if they don't, I mean, it's not like they haven't pissed their fans off enough already.
Oh, yeah.
Voyagers Cup rematch as well.
Oh, yeah. But speaking of Chivas, what's going on with them? I don't think they're going to have a future in the MLS.
Well, they don't really have a pass in the MLS either.
Yeah, but the whole idea of trying to attract the Latinos...
Failed.
It's failed.
Yeah.
Like, you're playing the same stadium against a bigger branded squad that the MLS loves.
Yeah.
So why are you going to try and be big like them? You can't. You're failing.
It was a team bought from MLS by the owners of Chivas Guadalajara.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a bit of an academy side for that team because MLS at the time was basically an academy league for them.
Yeah.
And at the time MLS was desperate for clubs, so they said, yeah, you have money, you might work with your whole trying to attract Mexican fans. Thing is, though, Mexican fans in the U.S., a lot of them don't like Guadalajara, so they're not going to support Chivas either.
Yeah, I guess Guadalajara is kind of like the Man U, like everyone hates you sort of deal.
The point is, I mean, they're a club there. They have a lot of haters as well as supporters.
Yeah, you're not going to get... Like, I feel bad for everyone who got that. Anyone who gets their MLS club tattooed, sorry. Like, I won't even get my Premier League tattooed. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not that big on...
Tattooing a club.
Yeah, if the club's going to pay me good money, I might think about it. When I mean good money, I mean over $500K.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get that from me. I'm sorry. But, like, apparently during the LA game, they had their protest banners taken away. I don't know what they said. I don't know exactly what's going on, but the fans are getting upset. They've had enough. The club's being sued by past coaches, past academy coaches. Their academy system in the MLS is shot.
So Chivas is a shit show.
Yeah, their idea, we're only going to draft and play Mexican U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
They're only going to play Latinos.
Yeah.
It's just like, why? Hey,
marketing.
Hey, you want to really prove you're racist?
Yeah.
Like, you're really doing that.
Yeah.
No. We want to stick close to our heritage. I'm
Bullshit.
sorry.
Yeah.
If American-based player is black and he's better than you're Mexican, I'll take the black guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
Senate in Russia had that issue as well. Senate St. Petersburg, where they, over there, the fans actually wanted them to be more
segregated.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. And when you're in the States and you're a nation of immigrants, deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just simple things. Just don't do that, or you're asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so now we've beaten Chivas USA to death.
Because they haven't been already.
Yeah. The Voyagers Cup. Now, Montreal, how come Toronto didn't get this? Like, this is ridiculous for them. They get San Jose and CD Hereditio, the
Guatemala club.
All right, they're going in the quarters.
Yeah, San Jose is going to be a test. They have Guatemala. Who else? One more. It should be one other team.
No, it's 3.
Oh, 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All they have to do is beat San Jose then.
Yeah. This is something they get to go to the quarters. I hope they play Santos Lagunas and get trounced. Actually, I don't, but.
Well, when Mark Dos Santos had them, he took them all the way to the semifinal against Santos Laguna, and they choked. Yeah. They had a 2-goal lead heading into like the 85th minute and lost it.
Yeah, and it's.
No, they took them to the quarterfinal. But
now, this is the fun part about the Voyageurs Cup. We looked at it. Now, next year, Ottawa's involved. If we can beat Edmonton, we get to play Montreal. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying we're going to be able to beat Montreal.
Well, okay.
But just the fans that brought in, the away fans, the caliber. This is what OSEG wants, is to bring in.
I don't think OSEG is even aware, but.
Well, John Pugh.
John Pugh.
This is what John Pugh wants. John Pugh sees Montreal nearby, Toronto nearby, easy commute for both fans.
Yeah.
They'll come up for the night, watch the game, cheer on their teams, bring in that crowd that probably would never watch NASL because there's an MLS team, a higher division.
And because it's Montreal.
Montreal or even Toronto.
Oh, if it's Toronto, it's going to be huge.
Yeah. It's going to be bigger than Montreal because you're going to get all the TFC fans that live in Ottawa going.
Yeah. Sitting right between us and Red Patch Boys.
They're just going to be there with a bag over their head going, I'm sorry. They're going to be cowering between both fans because we'll chirp them back and forth. So that's going to be interesting. It should be a good run. And hopefully Mark Dos Santos can do it because...
Yeah. So if we beat Edmonton, and Edmonton's not that strong right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what's been happening to them.
We'll see what happens in the second part of the NASL season, what they do in the off seasons as well.
Yeah. No, they're having issues on and off the pitch right now.
Yeah. Now let's go to the States one, Open Cup. This one surprised me. Chicago Fire versus Orlando.
Orlando City?
Yeah.
I'm sure Orlando City took it seriously.
Yeah, they're taking it really seriously. All right, fine. Who did they play? Chivas. Was it Chivas they played, or was that Carolina?
Don't know.
Well, doesn't matter. Like, Tampa played Seattle, beat them.
Yeah.
Then they lost to Portland. You're not going to...
And Seattle always takes it seriously.
Yeah, and this is their cup there.
Yeah.
It's like TFC with the Voyageurs Cup.
Yeah.
So it's their cup.
Yeah.
And then
Orlando City have good supporters, though.
Yeah,
so.
They do. And then you got RSL versus Carolina.
Yeah.
Now that's going to be good because I think you're now in either the quarters or the semis for Open Cup.
Is this game before or after the NASL season ends? Because Carolina has to look at that top spot in NASL.
I think it's happening this week.
Oh, okay, so before.
Yeah.
So Carolina's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, so Carolina's going to... But I think Carolina can do it. They just don't get any injuries.
Yeah.
And I'm pulling for either team to do it because everyone loves an underdog story.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Let's say the final is Carolina versus Orlando. Who's going to... Everyone, the MLS is shaking its head going, no, this can't be happening.
Yeah.
And U.S. Soccer Federation's going, it is, deal with it. They'll put their foot down.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. Alrighty, so, of course, we talked a bit about Marcos Dos Santos.
Yeah, he was at our Fury game tonight. I guess we'll talk about that when we talk about the Fury game.
Yeah, we'll talk about him right now.
Okay.
I've been reading in between the lines on the Voyageurs forum.
Okay.
They're scared.
CFC fans are scared, yeah.
Yeah, Montreal fans are scared a bit because more or less his style is the same style in Montreal.
Yeah, and Edmonton's scared as well.
Yeah. So there's no players on the pitch. The jersey hasn't been designed.
Yeah, but that's another point. But we still don't have players. We
can't really say, "Oh, we're going to trounce you." No way.
But strategically, we'll be.
We already have the fear factor, which is good.
Yeah.
We have you scared.
Dos Santos is going to be choosing the players.
Yeah.
He was at the game tonight. I'm guessing he was scouting.
Well, I guess that's why we did so well. He was. Every player was going.
Oh yeah. Every player is. He's
thinking, okay, can I get on his squad? I want to get on his squad.
Yeah.
But he came out and said, if you're looking to retire, I'm not looking at you.
Yeah.
He wants the young kids that are hungry for a win, that want.
Yeah. So we're not going to get a Danny Dichio.
No. Like Danny Dichio did great for Toronto. Not complaining about that, but we need players that want to grow.
Yeah.
Like
in a way, actually, Toronto and Danny Dichio. Toronto deserved a guy like Danny Dichio because they love their lovable losers.
Yeah, that too. But no, I think what DeSantos and I think Oseg have learned that this is a league that you're not going to create your Paul Scholes of Man U.
Yeah.
You're going to create players that'll play 3-4 years and move on.
Yeah.
They understand that.
It's a development league.
They understand they're a developmental side.
Yeah. But at the same time, every team, I'm sure, was going to end up having a Will Boger, just a guy who plays with the same team for life.
You're going to have some players that can't play beyond their level.
Yeah, and they'll stay here and be...
And if you do that, I don't mind. As long as you know where your level is. Don't think you're bigger than your team. As soon as you do that personally, I will kick you off the team.
Yeah.
I don't care if you score 20 goals in 10 games.
Yeah.
If you think you're bigger than the club, there's the door.
Yeah.
The club is bigger than you. It's about the name. It's about the name on the front of your shirt, not on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, very philosophical. Now let's have some fun. Fury PDL tonight. 5-0 over Vermont.
Yeah.
That was
we saw some goals tonight. All of them, actually, we were mid-song.
Yeah, of course. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah. The worst one was our goalkeeper, I think, Chad Bush.
Yeah, we were chanting for...
By the way, Chad Bush has played for Canada's U23s or U20s, so he's good.
Yeah.
Carl Hayworth as well. Anyway, he made 2 amazing saves, and we had...
Back-to-back, it was just...
And we had, hey, Chad Bush, I want to know how you made that save. Right in the middle, they score.
Yeah, you're like, aw, we felt bad for him.
Yeah.
We had some fun. We don't pay for health care. The Yankees picked a fight. That was fun. We had some good time.
We had OSU's kids join us.
Yeah, which was a bunch of them remember us from Capital City days, which is kind of nice. We are still recognized.
Yeah. And that's huge for us, the fact that we're establishing ourselves in the city.
Yeah, John Pugh was impressed because he's never seen OSU kids mingle with other kids. Because we still had some Fury kids sitting with us. And the OSU kids came over and they were fine.
Well, you know what? We're going to be the supporters club at day 1 of NASL.
Yeah, so then you just might as well deal with it. Other supporters groups will form. I know there's a few people looking to make an ultras group.
Yeah, let them. I'm sure Aaron will join. I'm not going to say that.
There's some people in our group who might think we're a bit too passive.
Yeah.
And want to be more aggressive.
I just go to games to have fun.
Yeah, I'm not going to look... Again, we had our meeting and we decided no smoke bombs, no flares for one good reason. Right where we're going to sit, if they give us that spot, behind us is Bank Street.
Yeah.
Wind blowing, smoke, you want to get...
2 lanes.
Yeah, you're going to cause a huge accident.
Yeah.
And it's not that... We'd love to interfere with field on play. Like a smoke bomb's kind of fun.
As long as the away goalie's in front of us.
Yeah, I'm a fan of smoke bombs. I won't take flares because I don't want to see our flags burnt.
Yeah. Or one of us burnt.
Yeah, exactly. But because of where we're going to be sitting, I don't want to take that risk. I don't want it on my conscience, and I don't think anybody else wants it on their conscience.
Yeah. Plus, they're not cheap.
Yeah. I haven't looked at the cost of a smoke bomb, and I don't want to.
Well, I mean... We're a group, as a supporters group, we're proud to represent the city, but at the same time, we have to sort of look at the bank account sometimes.
Yeah, not all of us have a nice Monday to Friday job where you're making 50 to 60K a year.
Yeah.
Live in a 1-bedroom apartment paying only $800 a month rent.
Yeah.
Like, we're not that lucky.
Well, who has that?
I wish I was. Government workers. I wish I was a government
I don't think they'd be paying $800 a month for rent. But I think
they'd probably find a better place.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but that's something we got to look at. Women's League. Now, we've been having... I'm not going to say issues.
Our first 2 games we had
a bit of a
complaints.
kerfuffle.
Yeah. But after that, the 3rd game, we sort of... To be fair, we sort of learned our place, and we got some nice... compliments afterwards. Yeah,
the first game we did oh, you're fat. We took it from the... Because to me, that was the worst insult to a woman.
It is, and I, like I've said this before, and I was expecting someone to complain about that, so I shut up right away.
Yeah, we expected it, and I just didn't want to bother dealing with that person. So we just sang louder and louder.
We sang, "We are Ottawa Fury, we'll sing what we want."
Yeah, and it kind of annoyed her, made her move away. Then we switched to wanker.
Yeah.
That we were told was not right to say. And that's where we kind of got... somewhat annoyed. Like, we understand, but it's just that you wanted us. This is what we do.
Yeah.
You might as well accept it.
Yeah. No, last year we were asked repeatedly, sometimes to the point of, I won't use the word begged, but really strongly asked to show up. And I'm more than happy to show up.
Yeah, it's good. It's great to watch. I'm not complaining.
It's a lot of fun singing. Again, it's a great way to kill a summer night.
Like,
lots
personally,
of fun.
It's just going, well, what can you say that's not going to be considered rude or sexist?
But you know what? With time, we're slowly developing
the supporter culture.
The culture at their games. Like, we're slowly starting to find out what we're allowed to say.
We came up with, instead of going, oh, wanker, we went, I don't like you.
Yeah. Or cupcakes.
Yeah, and we're going to peg at you.
Yeah.
So
so we're not as insulting to the away teams in the women's as we are in the men's.
Yeah, which I kind of think is bogus. I don't.
It's different culture.
Yeah, agreed. But it's still one of those.
I do agree with you, though. I can't take it as seriously if we're not allowed to be ourselves.
Yeah. So we have to behave, apparently, at the women's game.
Well, according to one away coach, we have to sing positively.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do in England.
No, they don't. England has worse songs. Why don't you go home? Why don't you go home? The famine's over. Why don't you go home? You want to talk about rude? Talking about like how many thousands of people died from famine in Ireland, and that's their song.
Yeah.
That's a song sung to Irish teams or Irish style teams.
Yeah.
Like really, like you're going to tell me that's?
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. It's a bit of hypocritical. But overall, the women's games have been fun to watch, entertaining.
Fun to participate in, yeah.
Yeah. So this should be interesting.
The lights just went out at Algonquin. So, I think the Fury turned out the voltage tonight.
Now we got a CSA versus the QSL regarding the turban ban.
Yeah.
Saying we need FIFA's decision on it, not CSA's.
Yeah.
Oh, FIFA said it's okay. You guys are complaining about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and QSL or whatever, their association said that the CSA can't tell them what to do.
Yeah.
I think it's Law 4 or Law 5 that says the CSA can tell you what to do.
And personally, the CSA needs to start enforcing their rules.
Yeah.
Well, you...
At least they did in the end. Although, wasn't it FIFA that stepped in?
Yeah, they had to reiterate.
Yeah.
And they brought it back up. We stated this on this day.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah.
And the CSA is... Well, that's the problem really with the CSA that's going on. Is there's well, the main problem is more or less the CSA is kind of federal, but everything else... Provinces control the sports.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
CSA,
that is the problem.
CSA says, no. You can have your titles, you can have your branches. But if we say you jump, all we want to hear from you is how high.
Yeah.
And that's what has to be understood.
Well, I have a huge problem with that because they're the national federation. They should be controlling everything that goes on. Like in the U.S., you hear about the U.S. Soccer Federation. You don't hear about the states as much if they even have them. No. So in Canada, like the domestic league thing, they basically threw it into the provinces. Like they just told them, do what you want. You're gonna have the job of developing players.
And I don't mind that. But it's kind of like the OHL style system.
Yeah, but it should be CSA sanctioned, not like...
Yeah. CSA says you can set it up, but these are the rules you have to follow.
Yeah.
Every province follows the same rules.
You're the national association. You've got the job of developing the national team, not the provinces.
Yeah. You can divvy it up amongst the provinces, but you have to ensure they do their job.
And that's not what they're doing. They're just throwing complete responsibility to the provinces.
I think they're starting to step up because they're seeing what they can do.
Yeah.
They're seeing the numbers they're drawing at Canada games, but they've been hearing from the coaches in their system. You have no development.
Yeah.
Where is your development?
Yeah.
So then QSF, that's it. QSF lost in the end, so yay. Then we got the Gold Cup coming up.
Yeah.
So Canada versus Martinique, Panama.
Do you want to do that first or Confederations Cup first?
Oh, we'll continue on Gold Cups. So Martinique, Mexico, and Panama.
Yeah.
Panama is going to be tough. Mexico, that's a loss.
Mexico and Panama both sent their B-sides, and obviously Martinique sent their A-side.
Yeah. We can take Martinique. If we can take Panama, we're good.
Yeah.
But I would like to see us go past the group round.
Yeah.
We can do it. So we got 4 call-ups from TFC.
From TFC, yeah.
Yeah. Henry, Lazario, Becker, and Morgan.
Yes.
And I think they're all TFC Academies kids.
They are all TFC Academy graduates, yeah.
Yeah, so
Daniel Henry is, Osario came out of CSL, but he spent a time in TFC Academy.
Yeah.
Becker, yes, and Morgan, yes.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, Becker wasn't. Well, Becker spent a bit of time, then he had the whole Crystal Palace thing, and then he came into the MLS draft. Yeah. But still an Ontario boy.
Yeah, so that should be good for us. Yeah. So I know there's Portland's goalie apparently was brought in. I'm not too sure if that was it. Anyone else?
Who's Portland's goalie?
I can't remember his name.
Well, from Portland, Will Johnson was brought in. Yeah. I have them all here. So Adam Straith first. He plays in Germany, I think. He's a bit older. Ashton Morgan on defense, obviously. Good for him.
That's not a really good sign.
We are
you really want TFC's defense?
We're really agreed there. We're really thin on defense. Ashton Morgan has been a bit better than Daniel Henry, but Daniel Henry's been burned a few times on the national team this year. So speaking of that, Daniel Henry's up there. David Edgar plays in the championship with Burnley, I think. So he's always solid, good to have on there. Yeah. Izzy Nakajima Faran, he plays in the A-League in Australia and rumoured to go to MLS. He's always a good depth player to have. Jonathan Osario from TFC, good for this kid. Was in CSL last year. Yeah. TFC signed him. He's playing for the national team now in the Gold Cup. Julian de Guzman, always a solid player.
You need that midfielder.
Yeah, big question is which de Guzman will show up.
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah.
We need we need that general show, not attacking.
Yeah, he is playing in Spain right now. He's on and off with Canada, but we'll see which Julian de Guzman.
He's more or less brought in for bringing some experience to help the younger kids.
Yeah,
and as the younger kids grow older, he's got to stop.
Well, he's 26, 27, I think, so he's still...
Oh, okay. I thought he was a bit older.
I don't know. I think he has one more World Cup qualifying run in him. This one's huge. Kevin Elman. We've been fighting Costa Rica and Spain for this guy, and he's accepted a call-up with us, so if we cap tie him here, we have him.
Good.
Over Costa Rica, at the very least, we take a player away from a CONCACAF rival.
Exactly. Yeah. If you go across the pond, all right, fine. But if you're in CONCACAF...
Well, if Spain is sort of looking at him... I mean, if Spain took him, he would have had 2 caps max, but, you know... Kyle Becker from TFC, good for him. I love this kid. Lars Hirschfeld, veteran goalie. Marcel de Jong plays in the Bundesliga in Germany. He's always a good depth defender, and again, we need defenders right now. Marcus Haber playing in Championship with Stevenage. Young Canadian, I think 22, 23 years old, looking to go up. Yeah. He may end up in the Premier League, so always great to have him there. Milan Borjan, a backup goalie, plays in, I don't know where he plays, to be in Europe somewhere.
It's good though.
Yeah, Nick Ledgerwood, depth player. Pedro Pacheco, Portuguese. He plays in Portugal. Big one as well, Randy Edwini Bonsu. We were sort of fighting Ghana for this guy, and if we cap tie him here, he may already be cap tied with us, but this guy's great. He's got loads of speed, lots of pace.
I'm liking that we are cap tying people. Like, I know Canada is more or less the country right now. It's kind of like American players playing for Canada. You play for Canada because you can't get on an American squad. Yeah. Canadians play for the States because they can make it to the States squad.
Yeah.
I don't mind if we're taking players from countries kind of like, I don't know, Ghana, Spain. Guess what? How well they've done in World Cups and their...
Yeah. Well, if Elman chooses Spain, that's a really dumb choice.
Yeah.
He'd get 2 caps.
Yeah.
But Costa Rica was going after him.
Yeah, and that was a big fight to have. So hopefully we can do something with it.
One thing I did love about Randy Edwini Bonsu is he's a player exactly what we need right now. He's a striker who has pace, he has awareness, a good touch, he can shoot. So, and he's young. He's like 19, 20 years old. Russell Tiebert from Vancouver Whitecaps. He came out of their academy system, I think, so that's good. Samuel Piet, I love this kid as well. Plays in Germany.
Oh, okay.
That got him in trouble, actually, a couple months ago.
Oh, yes, I remember that tweet.
With a certain tweet about the Champions League final in Germany. Just draw your own conclusions there. Simeon Jackson. Good thing, I'm happy that he accepted, because a couple of our players declined because apparently they're in contract discussions. Simeon Jackson accepted, even though his contract situation's not too clear.
Well, it's good for him because he knows he has to be shown playing.
Yeah.
Like, that's his important thing is, if he's not a full star for Norwich, he's got to be...
Norwich has released him.
Yeah, he's got to be somewhere. He's got to prove that he can be a striker.
Yeah.
I never know. Maybe Cardiff City might pick him up.
Yeah.
Newly promoted team.
Who is it? Forest or
Notts Forest?
Notts Forest apparently are interested.
They were coming up last year, so they could probably do another good run.
Yeah. Yeah, so rounding it off, Simon Thomas, I don't know too much about this kid, but he's there. Tosin Ricketts, I actually don't like this at all, but that's my person. He's a striker. It's great that he keeps accepting calls, because we need more players like that. I think he has terrible touch, though. All he has is a bit of pace. Yeah. He's a good late sub. I don't want to see him starting at all.
No, but as you say, it's nice that their Canadians are starting to fight for these call-ups.
Yeah. He's accepting them. Yeah,
you wouldn't see this.
But it's just
you'd be groveling at their feet. Please play.
Yeah.
Now they're like, "You want to play?" Yes.
Yeah. So Tosin Ricketts, it's just again, every time I've seen him, his touch, I just can't get over the fact that his touch is terrible. But it's great that he's coming up.
Yeah.
And then Will Johnson rounds it out from Portland.
And he's starting to pick up too.
Yeah, he's good. So it's either going to be him or De Guzman, I'm guessing, as captain.
What I would love to see now, though, is the Montreal Academy system starting to put out kids.
Yeah. So just a couple thoughts. Players that are not there, De Rosario was one. Either he wasn't chosen or I think he may have injury problems right now.
He's been having injury problems for a while. His form's been off apparently with DC.
So he's not going. Atiba Hutchinson as well rejected a call because apparently he wants to get his contract stuff sorted out.
That will sort out your contract.
Yeah.
Because if you're not playing, how are they going to choose?
Yeah.
Like, you need your feet to do your talking, not your agent.
So he rejected that. Luca Cavallini as well, who we captied during a game that shall not be named.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
He's still cap-tied, that's all.
He's cap-tied, but you know what? He's a great striker. He's trying to establish himself with his club, Nacional in Uruguay. Yeah. So that I sort of see, because he's trying to establish himself at that club, and it's preseason for them right now. So I actually don't mind that he's cap-tied. He has like 2 caps with us.
Yeah.
I get what he's doing there. He's trying to establish himself at a club, and going away for a month isn't going to help there.
No.
One thing I do like is we don't have a lot of depth at defense, but strikers, we have a good 5 strikers competing. So
we're going to play like the old Brazilian system. They score 2 goals, we'll score 4.
Yeah. We have 5 strikers competing for 2 spots. It's Jackson, Ricketts, Haber, and a couple others fighting for 2 spots. So
you never know. We might play the formation I love to use: 3-4-1-2. 3 defense.
But you know what? One thing we've never had is strikers competing for a spot,
and that's going to be good for us. We're going to have a good, strong.
Yeah. Simeon Jackson's going to be desperate.
Yeah, he's going to be trying to get his. He's been released. I don't think he's a Premier League level player. I think he's more Championship.
Yeah.
I've seen him play in the Premier League. I saw him play against Villa.
Yeah.
He didn't look that. He didn't look confident on the ball at all. It was just maybe he's not. You promote to your own level of competence.
Yeah.
So he's probably not a good Premier League player. He's probably a great Championship player.
Yeah, if he
I'd rather,
starts.
Personally, say I played, I would rather, if I knew how good I was, if I knew I was great in Championship but shit in the Premier League, I'd stay in the Championship.
Yeah, well, in Championship he'd get starts 90-minute games, whereas in Premier League he's at best a sub.
I know I hear people complain, oh, you can't think like that. Why not? Why can't you accept how good you are and excel at that?
Yeah.
Be known as the player you want in this level.
And just for what it's worth, no Hoylett again.
Well, he's SOL right now. 2 teams he's on gets relegated. But he should.
I'm sure he was sent an offer and rejected.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way.
He was apparently waiting for Jamaica to see if they'd make the World Cup or not.
Jamaica's not going to make him, and I don't think Jamaica's going to take him. Jamaica's kind of like more or less the idea of no.
Yeah.
You didn't pick us from the get-go. You want to fight now?
Yeah.
I would laugh if neither side picked them. I would laugh so hard to see this player that could play internationally and is stuck.
Yeah.
No one wants to cap him because of his attitude.
Yes. Head coach is Colin Miller again, interim. He actually had a bit of trouble with his club situation because apparently he threw some FC Edmonton players under the bus when making choices.
Well, why not?
Yeah. Well,
he sees them play, and if he doesn't think they're capable, then...
what happened was he threw them under the bus in Edmonton because you saw where they are in the standings, and then anyway, he's pissed off some of his own players, which is...
All right, now we'll move on to Confederations Cup. So today, Brazil played Uruguay in the semis. Brazil won 2-1. And tomorrow we'll have Spain versus Italy. Rematch of Euro again. I'm kind of hoping Italy takes Spain just because I'm kind of tired of seeing Spain win. Like, they're starting to be the old Brazil.
Yeah. Well, I used to like Spain until they started winning.
Yeah.
Because of the type of fans they draw.
Yeah, now you draw all you're bringing
glory.
your new Man U fans for international. Brazil used to be the Man U of international football. Now it's Spain.
Yeah.
So Boo earns on them. Anton wants Spain to win. I would like to see Brazil actually win this tournament.
Yeah. That would be huge.
Their fans need something. Like, they did poorly at the last World Cup. They did poorly at Copa America.
Yeah.
You know what? Give them something. Their fans deserve it. They should.
This World Cup will be huge for Brazil. They have to do well. If not, they're in trouble.
Yeah. Especially financially. Like, it's good they got...
But that's one thing I don't mind. Your second-tier countries are starting to actually threaten your top-level countries.
And that's good. England's not... I don't even consider them second-tier. I consider them to get out of the group and lose the first round.
Yeah.
That's the England way.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're supposed to be on track for 2020. I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, we were supposed to make the 2014 World Cup, Canada.
I said it from the start. 2018 is going to be holy crap, we made it. How the hell?
Yeah.
2022 should be yes, we made it.
When Stephen Hart was hired, it was during or just after the 2010 World Cup run.
Yeah.
And he said his plan was 2014. I'm not going to care about 2010. I'm going to go for 2014. Well, how did that end up?
Yeah, but he still tried for it, which is, like, we all know how it ended. And I heard some people say, well, he never really played, so he can't be that good of a coach. You don't have to have been a player to been a coach.
Yeah.
I understand that you need to think like the player. No, you don't.
It's strategy. It's chess.
Yeah. You have to think. You have to look.
Yeah, I'd hire a chess master over a player.
Get friggin' Eisenhower, raise Eisenhower from the dead, or Patton, and let's see how this works.
Yeah.
Curry.
Yeah.
That's really old school. Canadian general during World War I. Bring him up, raise him from the dead, have him be a coach, see what happens.
Yeah.
It's all about strategy. It's all about thinking on your feet, leading the players, getting the best, motivating your players to do well.
Yeah.
So this should be interesting. Now, speaking of interesting, this happened earlier today. TFC friendly announced against AS Roma.
Nice.
But
BMO or Rogers?
They're talking about BMO.
Okay, good.
But let's look at it. Third worst in the league. Your fans are dropping like flies.
Yeah.
You can't finish a 90-minute game. I watched the ending of that Houston game.
Yeah.
As soon as the 80th minute, you saw Toronto collapsing.
Yeah.
Again, Toronto has this issue of playing a better team, a much higher level team, is better for us.
Yeah.
A bull.
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it.
And the fans, I guess, last year when they got Liverpool, they came out with trophies, not friendlies.
Yeah.
And they're coming out with that again this year.
Yeah, they've had enough. They're going, we want...
Well, it is pretty Bush League that you have a pointless friendly in the middle of the season. Like,
not only middle of the season, middle of the week.
Middle of the week. Have it in either preseason or postseason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't because it affects the European schedule.
Yeah.
But then, there you go. Don't have it at all.
Yeah.
Play clubs from your region.
Yeah.
That's your competition. Play there.
Yeah.
You never know. You might spot a guy from Jamaica you never saw before. You might want to sign him.
Yeah.
Or from Trinidad.
That's how we got Pablo Vitti when we played, who was it, his Argentinian team.
Yeah, that's how players get spotted in England.
What's the biggest club in Argentina?
I think it's River Plata.
Yeah, that's where we got him. River Plate. We had a friendly against River Plate, and we saw Pablo Vitti.
Yeah, like at least in our hemisphere, let's not bring somebody over all the way.
Yeah.
I am kind of getting annoyed with these MLS friendlies against EPL clubs or Spanish clubs or Italian clubs. Oh, fine. Bring over a German or French club. Let's see that. No, they won't because it's not popular.
Yeah.
But little do they know, the real soccer fans do follow those other leagues.
Yeah.
So, it's just, again, TFC, what are you doing? You're dropping the ball again.
Yeah.
You're like Robert Green. I saw one Facebook update. Robert Green had in his transfer request from QPR, but QPR didn't get it because he dropped it. TFC needs some stability. Focus on getting your team. Focus on finishing.
Well, here's a question. TFC are not much better than last year. So do you keep Ryan Nelson?
I'm sick of seeing coaches being brought in, brought out. Keep him, but demote him. He needs to be... You're putting a lot of pressure on the guy to be a coach.
He was playing with QPR 6 months ago.
Yeah. Like, I've heard people say, oh, look at Villas-Boas. Yeah, Villas-Boas was coaching at Porto before.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he trained somewhere. So let's go with this.
Yeah, Ryan Nelson, I doubt is even trained.
He's never been a coach.
Nope. He was a player 6 months ago.
Yeah.
There's talks if New Zealand makes the World Cup, does Ryan Nelson go play?
Yeah, he probably will be called
He
up.
probably would.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you're being called up for a World Cup, and New Zealand was the amazing turnout at that World Cup. They drew every game. They drew the World Cup champions.
Yeah.
So it's not that they were brought home like heroes. They're expecting 3 losses. They got 3 draws. I mean, they screwed up that group. You didn't expect Uruguay, Italy, and Slovakia fighting it out.
Yeah.
They didn't expect that. New Zealand caused that. They expected Uruguay and Italy.
And I imagine Ryan Nelson was there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I don't think they should get rid of him per se, but he needs to step back.
Well, they're not going to, because Ryan Nelson is Kevin Payne's man.
Yeah.
He when Kevin Payne came in, he said, "This is my guy. I'm gonna force him to retire off QPR and bring him here." So if anything happens to him, it's a big stain on Kevin Payne's.
He needs to step down, not remove himself.
Nothing's gonna happen to him though. He's gonna stay.
Yeah, exactly. And then the fans are gonna get more and more upset.
Yeah.
Like I was listening to Corner Kicks.
Yeah.
Richard Starnes and Graham have a bet going.
Okay.
A beer.
Okay.
TFC will beat RSL.
Okay. That's
maybe
bold.
2 years ago, TFC, where...
no, even then they couldn't.
No, they did. I was at that game, 1-0. Plata scored it.
Okay. Yeah, and where's Plata playing right now?
Yeah, exactly.
RSL.
Yeah. So you're looking
Actually, you know what? Knowing TFC's luck, Plata's going to score the 90th minute winner against them.
I'd laugh so hard. I would.
You know what? It would be deserved.
Yeah, it's deserved. He's a great player, quick.
It's amazing how when TFC plays former players, they always score on them.
Yeah.
Dan Gargan scored like 1 goal in 90 games with TFC. First game against them, he scores.
Yeah.
Carl Robinson. Carl Robinson was class, though. When he scored against TFC, he refused to celebrate.
Yeah, and that's good class. That's amazing class.
Yeah.
Yeah, but besides that, we got nothing else really major to say.
No.
Canada Day weekend's coming up, no games.
Guess what I'm going to be wearing that day?
Yeah, I'll be wearing that on the ride back from the cottage.
Yeah.
I'll be celebrating the 3Bs beach bar.
So it's June 26th. We're done about just over half the PDL and W League seasons.
Yeah.
We've got our Fury boys in top spot, I imagine, or at least fighting for it. Same with the W League team. The opposition we've seen, I've actually liked the women's teams that we've seen. London Griffins, we've seen Laval.
So far is the strongest one.
Yeah, and Kitchener-Waterloo, who are new this year.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see Toronto Lynx.
You can't make the Quebec game.
I'm going to try, but no, probably not.
Quebec Admirals is the next game, so...
Le Amiral.
Yeah, we're gonna come. I got a few bad jokes on Navy. Bring that.
Yeah.
You don't have a Navy. You can't build ships.
Yeah.
Things like that. Since I lost it.
So on the PDL side, I'd love to see Kitchener-Waterloo's men's team, but we're not going to. I'd love to see Toronto Lynx's men's team.
Yeah.
Di Rosario, that's where he started out.
What we want to try and do is for the final home game of the PDL, get everybody out.
Yeah.
Like, if you got to book off work 2 weeks in advance, do it.
Yeah.
Book that shift off.
Yeah.
Like, we're not asking you to say, fuck you, work and call it sick. Just actually say, I can't make it.
Yeah.
I have... You know what? Say you're meeting with people from OSEC. Because that's not a lie. Because there's Graham there and John Pugh. They're with OSEC.
Are they?
Well, technically.
Yeah.
Technically, they're with OSEC.
So why do you have to show up?
We want to get a nice group picture with the new Fury logo banner, maybe with Mark DeSantos if he's there again.
Yeah.
So.
And cheers to Mark DeSantos for coming out tonight.
Yeah, and taking the picture.
Great guy.
With us.
We met him. He's
like, we apologize. Sorry, we're going to make you hold us. No, that's great.
Yeah.
He was all for it.
He's a great man. He's a great man.
Thought it was good, so you know what?
We told him straight up, we love the fact that you're going to be coaching us.
Yeah.
Yeah, great choice.
He's got a good mentality. He's got that.
You just see him when you met him. He's got that air of confidence.
Yeah.
He's got, he's mentally tough. It looks like he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's going to get along well with the players. He's fairly young.
Yeah, and I think that's what I think a lot of people are shocked at is how young he is, but how hungry he is. He's got that hunger for winning. He knows what he wants on his teams. He knows who he wants, and that's what's important to him.
Well, I've never met him before tonight, but obviously he has great history. What he did with the Impact, and he coached in Brazil.
Yeah.
After meeting him, the guy's good.
Yeah, we'll take him. We'll take him and run.
Yeah.
Toronto, you could keep Nelson.
Yeah. And when I walked in, it was you that introduced me to him, but he actually seemed like he wanted to meet the supporters.
Yeah, he did, and I think that's the great thing, and that's why I want to try and get more of us out there. Cause,
yeah.
Like,
we put on a good show for him tonight.
Yeah, I
OSC.
mentioned to him that we do have monthly meetings, and he said he might stop in. No promises. He might.
Okay.
It's up to him.
The guy's busy.
Yeah, he's got a real job. he's got a lot of things to figure out, and I personally don't think he has time.
You know what? I don't want him to have time for us. Focus on the club. Don't worry about us.
Yeah, he might show up like in the new year.
Yeah.
Like
no, you know what? I don't want him to. I don't expect him to do anything for us.
I don't expect him. Like what I would love him to allow to do to players, I don't know. Like let's say argument's sakes, we beat Montreal at home in the Voyageurs Cup, 2-1. Argument's sakes.
Yeah.
And he allows the players to jump into the crowd with us.
Yeah. Well, that's fair. But the guy has a job. He's. I mean.
Yeah. And probably something like that at the end of a game.
Yeah. Just like I've said before, I don't think we have any right to tell the club which players to sign.
No.
I don't want the coach worrying about us either.
You know what? He's looking in his own areas. We're just seeing what goes on the field. We don't know what goes on at training.
Yeah.
So we can't say
They were talking on the Voyageurs forum. The guy's got connections in Brazil.
Yeah.
So if he brings over a player or two.
We're going to get a bunch of Samba-style players.
Yeah. And he coached Div 2 or Div 3 Brazil. Yeah. And those types of players, one or two may look at NASL.
Yeah, they're all hungry. They don't know if they can make... Argument's sake, let's say they're not sure if they can make it in the Brazilian league.
Yeah.
Let's say...
So come over to NASL?
Come over to NASL and see where that can send you.
Yeah.
Come somewhere where you are watched constantly.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the Brazilian league is still watched constantly.
I don't know if Div 2 or Div 3 is as much.
Yeah, but...
NASL, the thing is, it's a U.S. league, so you're going to get media attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether it's fair or not.
Yeah, we're going to find out exactly what the TV rights is for the viewing.
We've been told one or two things, but a lot of it's in confidence right now.
Well, we've been reading on the Voyageurs. They're saying the score, then we're...
The score is the popular one right now. Someone from the club, I'm not going to mention who for the sake, but apparently the score is the favorites right now. Well, CBC apparently is not so much anymore.
Yeah, I would prefer CBC because everyone gets it, so you can...
And you can watch at work.
Yeah. Well, I know we'll probably get flack for saying someone in the club, and we won't mention any names because it's not right. Because there's too many people in the club to mention that would throw people off.
This isn't a sensitive issue as much as anything else, so that's why I said it.
Yeah, it's just a TV rights deal, and hopefully it's something that it doesn't have to be on a third sports package.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the Gold Cup is going to be on Sportsnet World.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to draw
knowing our roster, I'm actually not. Seeing our roster, I thought it was
Let's
weak.
see. This is the best thing. Gold Cup coming up. Okay. Baseball, it's not getting that much attention anymore. Maybe in Toronto.
Yeah.
That's about it, really, on Sportsnet.
Yeah.
Then NFL hasn't started. CFL will start, but TSN has that. Why wouldn't you just put it on normal Sportsnet?
Because...
Yeah. You got nothing else on that late at night, unless poker's more important.
Which, knowing Sportsnet, yes, it is.
Yeah, just don't bother with poker. Put on the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
You might be, like, before, Sportsnet used to have the Sunday games as well.
Yeah.
They used to have, this is how my dad used to watch it. One RDS, the morning game was on RDS, then 2 games on Sportsnet, 10 and 12 o'clock game, and then 1 game on a Sunday.
Yeah.
They'd have it on there, and it would be amazing to them.
Yeah.
Because you got games being showed left, right, and center. So it's, again, it's...
you know what? If I can throw out one last thought on the Gold Cup, it might actually be a blessing in disguise, because our roster, as we went through it, but it's not the strongest roster. It is a B-side, which is what Panama and Mexico are sending. But if we don't make it out of the group stage, it's going to get ugly.
Yeah, we have to get out of the group stage.
And it's a situation where I know Voyagers are saying this. If you're not gonna make it out, it's gonna suck for us supporters, but we're gonna take it. If you're not gonna make it out, lose big.
Yeah.
Because it forces the CSA to not say something like we bounces didn't go our way and shit like that.
You don't want to be.
Yeah. So like we may do something stupid like lose to Panama and Mexico and have a half-ass draw against Martinique.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go out at the group stage, that's how we have to go out. Yeah.
Go out big.
Which is why Honduras was kind of a blessing as well. If we lost 2-1 to Honduras, the CSA we'd still have nothing new going on. So anyway, we've rambled enough.
Yeah. So besides that, again, we're on Facebook. Shout out to our newest member Dawn for joining us.
Yep.
Some random girl I took a picture of in the march to the Canada game.
And he recognized her too.
Yeah. Well, because it was like. Because she looked straight into the camera and she was singing at the same time when I took the picture, so...
Oh, okay.
You kind of noticed that.
Yeah.
And then, there she shows up.
Solid.
I didn't know who she was, but I knew who she was.
Well, she's a solid member, she'll be...
And then we know what her tagline, what her handle on the Voyageurs forum, which is always fun.
When I found that out, I always, the Ottawa Voyageurs on the forum I know more or less.
Yeah.
And then there was Canada Women's National Team, and I'm always like, who is this? And when I found out, it was cool.
Yeah, it was different. So we had our daycare center again today, which is always fun.
Yeah.
But besides that, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, check out our website,
post on our forum,
bytomboys.webs.com. We might be changing our website in the future to something a bit less Bush League.
Yeah.
But again, if that happens, we won't tear it down right away.
No.
We'll post up a link to go to our real website. We won't leave you hanging in the dark.
No, we will never leave you hanging.
Yeah, we will update things as best as we can when we can remember to do it.
Yeah.
So
that's the key, actually, when we can remember to
It's only
do it.
a few of us that are running it, so it's remembering everything.
Yeah.
All right. So besides that, thanks for listening, and hope to see you next game. All right.